Next is Karl Marx. Karl Marx is one of the important philosopher or one of the important thinker who changes the thinking of mankind. Mankind का thinking change कर दिया Karl Marx ने. Karl Marx thinking was, if we want to study about the society history, we should study about the life of the people. That how many people are rich, how many people are poor, who are owning means of production, who are having more power to own production. That was the thinking of Karl Marx. So let us discuss some information given in the textbook. In the later half of the 19th century, a new school of thought arose. A new school of thought means it is a school of Karl Marx, where the people are having same ideology of Karl Marx. Okay, whatever the Karl Marx is thinking is that we should accept that thesis. According to Karl Marx, history was not about abstract idea. See, what was Karl Marx saying? Ki study of history is not important. We should study the life of people, life of the human being or living thing of the people. That was the thinking of Karl Marx. Human relationships are based by the fundamental needs of people, and the ownership as well as nature of prevalent means of production meet those needs. So people are also having some basic needs. Who will feel the basic needs of people? People only will feel the basic needs. But there are some people who are having more business, who are having more land as compared to poor people. Why? Poor people are not having much land to cultivate the crops or to grow more business. So poor people will be poor people are not having more power of earning the things, but richer people are having more power to earn the things. So that was a thinking of Karl Marx, that we should also study the life of common people. The accessibility of this means to different strata of the society may not be equal. Different strata means different group of people, like poor and rich people. They are having different types of people living in the country. So land is not distributed to equal. Rich people are having more land and poor people are having less land of the different strata of the society. The inequality causes a division of the society into classes. So there are various types of society, like higher, middle class society. So they are having a division in society, leading to the struggle. So leading to the struggle, it means people are there in the society. There are having some people are having more problem in the society. Some people are having less problem in the society. Like rich people are having more. Rich people are owning the production means of production, but poor people are not having that much means of production. Why? Because they are not having land to earn the things. According to Marx, human history is the history of class struggle. So they are having various type of struggle in their life because of not having proper land to own the production. As the class that own the means of production economically exploit the rest of the class, Das Kapital. So it is a book written by the Karl Marx, Das Kapital. Treatise written by him is the most referred book all over the world. So what Karl Marx was saying, if the production is owned by the higher classes, if the person who manages the business, if he exploit, if he take the efforts from the laborer, he will not give all the profit to the laborer. Why? Because whatever the profit he will earn, he will not distribute equally. He will give some amount of the profit of their business. So that was the thinking of the Karl Marx, and is the book, and the book he has written, it is called Das Kapital by him. Next is Analyst School. At the onset of the 20th century, a new school of historiography arose in France. So one new school has arose in the France. One school came in the historiography of the Analyst School. Analyst School gave a new direction to history of writing. So they are following the Voltaire ideology. In the part 2, we have seen that Voltaire was saying, if we want to study about the region, we should study about the agriculture, trade and other thing also. We should not study about the past events happen in the country. That is not important for the study of history. We should study about the life of the people, okay, what is happening with the issues with them. So it was recognized now that history is not only about the political events. So we should not study about the political events, about great kings, great leaders, but we should study about the diplomacy and wars, but also about the climate. So we should not study about the political events, kings, great leaders and politics. Diplomacy means it is a relation between two countries, and wars, but also about the climate we should study, about the local people we should study, about the agriculture, trade, technology. Technology means in Harappan time, what the technology they were using. Now we are having advanced technology. We are having different technology means of communication. We are having different modes of communication for communicating with each other, social division and collective of psychology, etc. In the historical times, the Annales school was started by French historians. So this school was started by the French historian to write the historiography about a particular things. Next is feminist historiography. Next is feminist historiography. Feminist historiography means the restructuring of the society from the perspective of women. So we have to write the things or the information about the perspective of women. Okay, what are the benefit women should have it? The writing of Simone de Beauvoir helped in establishing the fundamental of feminism. So Simone de Beauvoir, he was from the France. She was a French who has written a fundamental rights for the feminist historiography. The feminist historiography emphasizes not only the inclusion of women in history but also on the rethinking of the male dominant perspective of history. So what she was saying, that we should not write about the centric of women's dominance. We should also write about the women's benefit also, and we should not partiality between both of them. We should give equal rights to both of them in the country for the benefit of the feminist. It drove historical research to focus in depth on various aspects of women life, such as their employment. So we have to write about their employment, that women should get the employment opportunities, their role in trade union. So they are having different संगठन, we used in Hindi संगठन, उनका एक ट्रेड यूनियन होता था जो वुमेन्स के लिए राइट्स होता था, कुछ फाइट करते थे ग्रेट लीडर्स. Institution working of their cause means there was some institution who were working for the cause of women's benefit, their family life, how the family will be there of the women's, etc. In the historical writing after 1990, women were portrayed as an independent social class. So after 1990, women were also came into the class and they were given some writing information about the women's. Okay, these are the portrait things and they have showed in the picture in the drawing about the women's. Okay, how the independent of women will be there. So how the women's got benefit? There were some people who fought for the women's like Baba Saheb Ambedkar, Mahatma Phule. Because of them only we come to know about the life of women. So there was a Rajaram Mohan who also banned the sati for women. So these were the people who work for the women's benefit, women's empowerment. Like Savitribai Phule, she was the first teacher of teaching feminist in the India. Next is Michael Foucault, born in 1926 and died in 1984, the French historian of the 20th century. So he was a French historian of the 20th century. Michael Foucault brought forth a new concept in history. He in his book Archaeology of Knowledge. So he has written one book that is the Archaeology of Knowledge. As I've already told you, what do you mean by archaeology? Archaeology means it is a past thing we are getting from the excavation, like earthen pots, sculptures, coin, different things we are getting, that is called archaeology, and we are doing research on it. Argued that the prevailing practice of arranging historical events in a chronological order is not right. So whatever we are studying about the chronological order or the sequence of events, that is not the important to study the history. We should study about the life of the people. That was the thinking of Michael Foucault. He drew attention to the fact that archaeology does not strive to reach the ultimate history truth, but attempts to explain various transitions in the past. So whatever we are getting from the excavation like earthen pots, coin, हम उसको सर्वे कर, हम उसके ऊपर रिसर्च करते हैं, हम उसको देखते हैं कि वो कितना पुराना है. So that things we are is not giving an actual information, but it give to attempt to come to the ultimate truth. मतलब वो हमको कुछ बताते हैं कि पास्ट में क्या हुआ था. They will not give you the proper information, but वो हमको बताएंगे कि कॉइन कब बना था, कब किसने एस्टेब्लिश किया, किस किंग का नाम था उसके ऊपर. That information that fact will give, but it will not give a proper information. Michael Foucault felt that explaining the transition in history is more important. So हम लोग को ट्रांजिशन बताना पड़ेगा कि उसके लाइफ में चेंजेस क्यों आया, कैसे आया, अगर वो हमको पता चलेगा तभी हम लोगों को एक्सप्लेन कर पाएंगे कि इसका चेंजेस इसकी वजह से हुआ था. सो ट्रांजिशन प्लेज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल फॉर एक्सप्लेनिंग द हिस्ट्री. He called his book The Archaeology of Knowledge. So he has also written one book that is Archaeology of Knowledge. Foucault's subject, the so far acknowledged the areas by historians such as psychological disorders, science of medicine, prison administration, etc. to historical analysis. So he has also explained what are the changes and what are the history they have written about the psychological orders, science of medicine, what are the different types of science he developed. We should study about that also. He also about the prison administration, that how was the government treating the prison in the jail, and if they are treating good with the prison, so that government is good. Thus the scope of historiography kept continuously expanding. The writing of histories means they were writing and they were also expanding the historiography of a particular things like literature, architecture, sculptures, कि हमको ये sculptures कहाँ से मिला, फिर उसको हमने कैसे मॉड्यूल किया, मॉडिफाई किया. ड्राइंग एंड पेंटिंग्स, पहले में हम कैसे कलर्स यूज़ करते थे ड्राइंग में, बट नाउ वी आर यूजिंग डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ कलर्स. म्यूजिक, in olden times we were having different instrument to play the music, but now we are having advanced technology to use the or to play the music. Drama, in olden times we are having different types of drama, but now we are having different dramas. Dances, different types of dances, Bharatnatyam, Kathakali. In Maharashtra we used to have Lavani. These are the different types of dances he has written. Televisions, etc. came into practice. So this was the changes, and this was the historiography was showed by the Michael Foucault. And the thinking was there were some changes who were came in between, and he was expanded that information to the people. That was the thinking of Michael Foucault. Hope you have understood the chapter. Thank you for watching the video.